Once upon a time, there was a couple called Malcolm and Margaret Brown. Now, Malcolm and Margaret had been trying, without much luck, for several years to have a baby. Tests showed that Malcolm was in fact a Jaffa, i.e. he was seedless. So the doctor said to Malcolm, he said, what you're going to have to do, Mr. Brown, is consider having a grudge baby. A grudge baby, said Malcolm, what on earth do you mean, Doc? I mean, replied the quack, you need someone to have it in for you. After discussing this for a while, the couple agreed that they would find a surrogate father to do the deed with Margaret. They scoured the whole of the internet, or well really they spent about 10 minutes on some dodgy dating websites and found a suitable candidate. Now this was a man who had sired half of the children in Lawrence Weston and the surrounding areas. On the appointed day, Malcolm kissed Margaret goodbye and left for work as normal. Everything will be fine, my love, he said. The donor will be here soon. And off he went to work. And it just so happened that on that very morning, there was a door-to-door baby photographer in the area who was going around knocking on doors to drum up some business for his photography. So about half an hour or so after Malcolm had left for work, there's a knock at the door. Excitedly, Margaret rushes to the door and opened it. The photographer started to say, I'm here too, and Margaret stopped him. She said, no, 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 I know exactly why you're here. I've been expecting you. Have you, said the photographer? He said, you do know that I specialise in babies, don't you? She said, oh, good, good, because that's really what my husband and I were hoping for. Okay, so sorry, I can't read that right. So shall we get started, asked Margaret. I've not done this before. How shall we begin? Well, the photographer replied, I usually like to do 2 or 3 in the bath, then a couple or so on the bed. We can try 1 or 2 on the sofa as well, and on the floor can be quite good fun because we can really spread out on the carpet. Oh, I see, says Margaret. Perhaps that's what Malcolm and I have been doing wrong all these years. We haven't been trying enough different places. It's very important to take your time, said the photographer. I'd love to be in and out in about 5 minutes, but you would be left disappointed. I like to try lots of different positions and shoot at several angles. That way I will achieve the best result. At that point he took a photograph from a portfolio that he had in his briefcase with him and showed Margaret the first picture. He said, you'll never believe it, but this one was done on the top deck of a bus. Oh, really, said Margaret. Yes, yes, he replied, before showing Margaret the next photo, which was of twins. He said these two presented quite a problem. The mother was really difficult to work with. In the end, I had to drive her to the park and do it there. A crowd gathered to watch us. At least 4 or 5 deep they were. Blimey, didn't all those people put you off, said Margaret. Oh, no, 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 but the mother did. She was screaming and shouting. She quite put me off my shooting. I really did my best to get all of my shots off before it got dark. To make matters worse, some squirrels started nibbling on my equipment as I was trying to pack it away. Oh my goodness, you mean to say that they were actually chewing on your equipment, said Margaret? Yes, but they didn't do any real damage, said the photographer. Right, let's get my tripod set up. Your tripod, Margaret asked. Yes, yes, replied the photographer. It's to rest my Canon on. It's way too big to be held by hand. At this point, Margaret fainted. The end. Thank you.